Hello everyone, this is a follow-up video to yesterday's video, Cargo Leaks. 3 years ago, CIG said we are responsible for our ships and cargo.
I think the bigger question is, how are you going to protect your ship and your cargo that's being loaded and unloaded on your ship?
I would be fine with this, but in year 12 we still don't have keys, we don't have biometric locks. Everyone who makes it onto the pilot seat has full control over your ship. We cannot throw weapons in armistice zones to protect our cargo. And we have no police forces, no security forces, even in high security areas like Stanton. I was pretty much sure CIG talked about ship owner giving permissions, and I found some clips.
Now first is the captain's station. This is usually the owner of the ship, and he has the ability to see what all of the others are currently doing. He also has the ability, if needed, to override one of the other stations and take control of what's going on in that position. He also has the ability to set permissions and set the security states to put the ship on high alert or at a peace state if you're in a less risky position.
Overall, like for a ship owner, we do want you to have some level of control to say, okay, I'm hiring you on board as crew, have them be another player or an NPC, and I'm going to give you access to the engineering station, I'm going to give you access to shield management, and you'll flag your crew for the different permissions that you want. That way it'll be a bit trickier for someone to just run up to the pilot seat of your own ship, try and get in and use it, and it'll be more, well, you didn't flag him for permission, so he's going to just rip you out the seat, get in his own pilot seat, and start flying.
This is the exact same problem that we're going to encounter over and over and over again that we've talked about, which is, well, if somebody boards your ship, can they basically just sit in the pilot seat and go? And that's the way it is right now. But if eventually we're going to have much more of a security system concept. And so, irregardless of the fact that I allow other players onto my ship, that doesn't necessarily mean that I, as captain, have basically given them the keys to the thing.
Well, you may not give them the permission to use the helm. They may have the permission to walk all around or use turrets or whatever, but
and so I could see,
may not have the keys to the ignition.
Yeah, I can see the captain, the owner of the ship, basically designating who can do what. In other words, if I'm disconnected, then my navigator, whether it's an NPC or a player, can basically assume control of piloting the craft. But I, in advance, basically said how I want the ship to, how I want the crew of the ship to be able to respond in this particular scenario.
We want people to be able to manage custom groups, to customize permissions for individuals, to set roles on people in those groups, in parties, to be able to set permissions on ships for people who are on your ship. What can they access? What can they get into? And so, in order to house all that new functionality, we need a new UI system that's capable of doing that.
We've been looking into building this permission system for ships where the captain can assign item control to specific people in the ship. So he can, give the engineer the role to control the power plant and the coolers, and a weapons officer the ability to control weapons, that sort of thing, right? And the hope is that over time, as we add more and more depth of sort of systems gameplay inside the ships, that combined with the permission system will be conducive to more and more deep multi-crew gameplay.
CIG is talking about owner of a ship, sometimes they say captain, set permissions for his crew. This of course makes total sense. A stranger, thief, should not just be able to rush to the pilot seat and has full control over your ship, which is still the case in year 12. I said this many times, CIG said exactly this in the clips I showed. Even Chris said it. Now we have the $714 million question. CIG talks about this, ship owner giving permission, for at least 9 years by now, but where is it? Is CIG waiting for the next Cortec to make this happen? Does CIG need a new UI? I would be very happy about this because the Iron Man UI is just terrible, not user-friendly at all. Does CIG need Maelstrom for owners setting permission, or is this another thing that relies on server meshing? I really do not understand why 9 years later setting permissions as the owner of the ship is still not in Star Citizen. Even if there would be some kind of tech that is needed, why didn't CIG work on this requirement in the last 9 years? Why does CIG never have a plan, never thinks in advance, never thinks things through? Star Citizen is a huge and very ambitious project, but the lack of any planning is surely a reason why progress is so slow and why we have so little in year 12. I made this very quick Excel sheet. Here you see permissions, use everything, fly the ship, use backlog out, use engineering console, use shield console, use weapon console, use bathroom, use coffee machine. Of course you can add more things. And I have players Flicker, Chris Roberts and Sean Tracy. Let's say I fly with Flicker. Flicker would get an X for everything because I trust Flicker. Chris Roberts wouldn't get an X for everything. He surely cannot fly the ship because he is Crash Roberts. But he can use engineering console, shield console, weapon console, bathroom and coffee machine. And if you don't trust someone, you can either give him no permission at all, or you can give him permission to use bathroom and coffee machine. This could easily be implemented into the game, into the UI, but seems like CIG hasn't done their homework once again, so there are some pre-requirements for this, yes, even now in year 12. I hope you found this interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments below and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. I mean, even...
Attention.
Okay, you wouldn't believe what just happened. I heard attention. Did I get a crime? I got a crime stat for this. Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter. My Twitter account is Camural_SC.